Welcome to this week's workshop of 3 easy ways to make your dashboards even better in 2025. Welcome. My name is Julie Brody, the Director of Measurement for MeasureU.com. I have actually been building actionable dashboards since 2007, joined the MeasureU team in 2015, and started teaching measurement marketing to people just like you around 2017, and I'm still the lead account manager for all of our dedicated measurement management clients, which is just a really fancy way of saying that myself and our team it gets all kind of different experience, all kind of different types of clients, different tech, different carts, all kind of different things. So if you have a question, we always love a good puzzle to solve, a mystery to solve. So reach out to us. We love to hear from you. So as we go through this particular workshop and any training, let's remember the one thing rule. That is the rule where you get one thing. You don't try to grab every little tip. And obviously in this one, you're going to get 3 amazing tips. So just get one that you can take and apply today and then come back, watch this again, and get another one thing to apply the second time. So before we begin, we want to remember the thing that we call the measurement marketing framework. This is the foundation for all things measurement marketing if you want to be successful. And we all start out here where we're marketing in the blind, where we don't know what is working, what is not working, and we don't know really what to do to be able to reliably grow our revenue and profits. Meaning we don't know what button to push, what lever to pull, what thing to do, what action to take to make our user journey convert the way we want it to. We don't know what to do. And that's the problem. We're just guessing, and we don't want to guess anymore. We want to be more efficient. And so we go through our measure marketing framework. We have plan, build, and launch. And now, if you've never seen this before, if you want to know more about this in depth, because I'm about to go through this super quickly, we do have other trainings out there for you on this very specific topic. So no worries, we got your back, and most of them are 100% free. In fact, I think every single one of them are. So with your plan step, you go through your questions, your information, and your action. This means you have to know what questions to ask, the information you need, and the actions you're going to take with those questions. Meaning, if you cannot take action, then you need to circle back over here and ask better questions so that you can actually take action. If there is no action, go back to step 1. Kind of like Chutes and Ladders or Sorry or something, you got to go back. Something like that. So then you go on to your build step where you have your results, your traffic, and your stories, meaning you're understanding the results, tying those to traffic, and then understanding that story. Then, now that you have your story, you're going to listen to your story, tie that to your forecast, and then the fun part, which is optimizing. And this time when you optimize, you're going to know exactly what to do in order to grow the way you want to. So now that we know our measurement marketing framework, let's go ahead and dive in to what is the purpose of a dashboard. So why do we want dashboards? You're probably like, I need to be able to see all my data in one spot. That could be totally true. However, your dashboard should lead to action, not analysis. It should also be kind of natural action. It should be easy to see. It should not cause you to have to think. We have this little phrase, 1 minute dashboard. So, if you're looking at a page on your dashboard, you shouldn't take more than a minute to understand what the action is. If you are not taking less than a minute, if it's more than that, then you definitely need to evaluate the dashboard that you've built. And that's when you're going to utilize these 3 steps to make it even better. So how can we make even better dashboards that lead to action? So the first easy way, number 1, is to get your act together. What do we mean by act? Well, that is ask, consider, and transact. So all together is ask, consider, and transact. It's obviously an acronym. We are very big fans of acronyms. It's help us remember the things. And it's a nice, easy trick when we have all the other million things that we got going on. So it's just a little trick that we have. So for your ask part, you're asking how many users did you ask to look at your offer? Or another way of saying this is how many started. If you have never seen this before, we do have obviously another training out there for you that you can have access to for completely free. We have more expanded stuff that's kind of behind the paywall, but we do have free content out there that shows you exactly how to do this. You can build it with just URLs inside of GA4. You can build it using custom events. once. Technically, you can do this for any platform, not just GA4. So any platform that you can measure across a user journey, you can use this system, this strategy with. So that's why it's so powerful. The next, you're going to have how many users considered the offer, meaning how many users engaged, how many users kind of went through along the way. And then finally, how many users transacted. So kind of putting big picture, why would this make this so much more useful, make your dashboard even better? Well, a lot of times we're just measuring this final step of the transact, how many users finished here. And sometimes we'll have the start and the finish. But by having a start, a finish, and somewhere along the way, something in between, we know very quickly if it's the first step or the second step that is the thing that needs to be optimized. And that allows you to know, remember, thinking what button to push, what lever to pull, what thing to do, what action to take. This is going to help you know what action to take. Are you supposed to work on step 1 or step 2? And by having those clearly visible and understanding how they're supposed to work, you'll be able to see that. And a little pro tip here, you can have more than one consider. So if you're having, like, maybe there's an add to cart, a begin checkout, a filling out the shipping info, filling out the billing info, all of those can be consideration steps or how they're engaging along the way so that you can truly understand, okay, it's the filling out the shipping info part that they're not converting on, not the billing info. We were sitting there optimizing the billing info, and that was wrong. So this is why understanding the user journey and utilizing your act or getting your act together can make your reports so much more powerful and even better. So your easy way, number 2, is to ask yourself WTF. Now, it's not what you think. WTF stands for where's the forecast. So yes, it really does mean where's the forecast. Obviously, it means other things too. And I actually taught this in 2023 for the Measure Summit of 2023, and it kind of came. It was just a little bit of a joke, and it caught on. And we started hearing from our students that they really enjoyed it. It helped them remember, and so it made its way into our course, our more expanded course. And then it's starting to be used as a verb. Like I'm hearing from more and more of the students, even now, a year and a half later, that, oh, I need to WTF my dashboard. I forgot to WTF, or I'm about to be WTFing my dashboard. And so it's kind of taken a growth of its own. So it's just a very useful way to remember where's the forecast. And so why are forecasts so useful is because if you don't know where to go, then you can't take action to get there. Meaning, if you don't know exactly how your page is supposed to convert, you can't really understand if it's doing its job or not. And you can't know if you need to improve it or not. So that's why you need to make sure that you have your forecast. And also, this is why people analyze their dashboards. They get stuck in this analyzing mode where they have to, and they just spend so much time doing this. But if they had their forecast understood how things are supposed to work, then it would just go so much better for them. And that's obviously because they don't know the action is the reason why they are going through and analyzing. Forecasts make it a lot easier to find the action. It's just so much more intuitive. And again, thinking of that minute dashboard, like if you knew if your sales page was supposed to convert at a certain rate and it was right there in front of you, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to know, yes, that one's converting fine. I don't need to worry about that step. Let's go on to the next one. It's just going to make it a whole lot easier for that. So kind of coming into this one, your forecast, we don't have anything here. We just have numbers and everything looks the same. But over here, we have forecasts, as you can see in the text, but then we also have something that's called conditional formatting, where it's going to be red, yellow, green. Obviously, if your branded colors are red, maybe you don't use red, you can use a different color, but it's just kind of something visual cue that says what it is. And technically with different types of tools in your dashboarding tool like Looker Studio, you can do these with thumbs up or different type of emojis. You can do this in lots and lots of different ways. The color is the easiest way to learn at first, and then you can level up into something a little bit more complex. But this, as you can see side by side, which one tells you, which one are you going to have to analyze? Which one are you going to have to remember? Which, what the forecasts are, what your goals are. And over here, it's right here in front of you. And right now we're like, ooh, this one's red. This one is almost where it should be. So I'm not really going to worry about this, but here is clearly not doing what it's supposed to. And so that's where we would go through and, look into our efforts there and find out why is it not converting the way we would expect. So easy way number 3 is, are you using Kia? So what in the world is Kia? As I said, we like our acronyms, but what is Kia? Kia is question, information, and action. And if you're like, that sounds really familiar, you're right. Question, information, and action should be familiar because we just talked about it right here in the measurement marketing framework. Remember, we had our plan and we said you have to know what questions to ask, the information you need to answer the questions, and the actions you're going to take with the information for those questions. And remember, if you can't take action, you have to circle back, go back to step 1, kind of thinking, going back to that game board thing. You got to go all the way back to step 1. And you have to ask bigger, better, different questions in order so it leads to action. And so this is one of those things that we see a common mistake of is not putting actionable data into your dashboard or only putting actual data into your dashboard. The mistake is putting a lot of data into your dashboard. So you need to remember to only put actionable data in your dashboard. Now, here's another pro tip. Sometimes your boss, your stakeholder, your clients will ask for a bunch of junk data that is not actionable, but they want it anyway. Sometimes you just have to appease them and give it to them because that's what they're asking for, but then maybe you kind of help them, I'm going to say this very gently. You try to figure out what it is that they're trying to do with the information, and then have a side dashboard or another page or something like that that does answer the question that they're really trying to get to. For example, they want to know bounce rate just because they thought they needed to know bounce rate. But what they probably really want to know is which blog are people engaging with the most. And then you can answer that a whole lot of other different ways. Like, are they scrolling? Are they clicking? Are they doing, lots of other different ways depending on the type of blog that you have. And so getting to what they really want to know is useful. Sometimes they don't know what they want to know. They're just like, I was told we need bounce rate. But what they probably really want to know is what is being actually consumed and useful and all these other different things. So that's just another little fun pro tip in there for you. And when you have only actionable data into your dashboard, it makes it a lot easier to find the action, and you're not cluttering the dashboard and causing someone to analyze. So that's just your other pro tip. Also, another pro tip when it comes to your Kia and your dashboard is get good enough to get going and then make it better later. And this is something our internal organization has lived by for years, and we just now started kind of teaching it because we realize how useful it is. But the reason we bring it up here in your dashboard is because sometimes you're going to possibly go overboard and with the planning because you're like, I need to plan all the things. I need to plan the perfect dashboard. I've been there. Manisha's been there. All of our team members have been there. But you need to remember it's okay to start small and then level up and make it better as you go through. You're going to grow and learn a lot more, and you're just going to overwhelm yourself if you don't start out slow and small. And so I did a Google search for the word dashboard because I wanted to show you too why IKEA is so important. Questions, information, and action. So I absolutely love colorful things. For those of you that have been with me and teaching with and hanging out with me for a while, you guys know this. So if I'm looking at something like this, I'm just like, this is eye candy to me. I love the little icons. I love this. I love this. I love this. All the things, everything about this, the colors. I love it. However, is this answering my questions? Like I don't have anything to do with HR, but if it's not answering my questions or something, I don't necessarily need this. Like, let's say they were selling this for a template. I don't necessarily need it. I absolutely can take inspiration where I'm like, I need icons. So I go to my design team and be like, hey, make me icons like that. So I can do something with that. Then same thing with other ones like this one here. So again, is this going to be answering my questions? Possibly not, But I do like this, again, the color coding of that, just making it very easy, very visual, something like that. Same thing with more icons. You can do something like that. And then going through, if we look in here and say, we could say, let's do a GA4 dashboard and see what they say here. So here we go. Here's another one. Is this answering your questions? Possibly. Maybe you're like, I just need high level numbers, so no sessions, user count, all of this other stuff. But again, there's no forecast. There's, you're going to have to analyze because you don't know where it is that you're actually supposed to be. Is this a good number or is it not? You don't know. So you could duplicate a template like this and then customize it and make it your own. So absolutely. But this is where I just wanted to teach you just a moment of seeing something and getting caught up in the eye candy but knowing the difference between a useful dashboard and a pretty dashboard. You want your dashboard to be actionable instead of just pretty. And so we want to make sure that you know how to do those dashboards that are going to be really useful for you and your clients and actually be used and not just oohed and awed for the first time. Then once they get behind the color shock that they realize, oh, we can't use it anymore because it's not useful. So we don't want that. So remember your Kia. And so what was your one thing? We talked about 3 things to make your dashboard even better in 2025. Remember, get your act together. Remember to ask yourself WTF and remember your Kia. So all 3 of those things. So which one was yours? And if you are watching this on YouTube and you want to join Academy Insiders or inside the MeasureU community, go to measureu.com/workshop and you can see all the different ways to get inside the MeasureU community. And remember, there's free content back there too, along with all kind of other membership benefits like asking questions in the Insiders Q&A, a whole amazing team of instructors and mentors, and a massive community back there and to help you and guide you through all your questions. And so that's it. 3 easy ways to make your dashboards even better in 2025. We'll see you next time.